Man, that shot was costly. I ripped a hole in the pants getting up there. So it's dry on top and there's a lot of dust, but the moisture is literally a 1/4 inch down. It's already wet there. So it's just the top, I mean, here, let me find a, this is just where the tire track that sank down. So I'm just gonna take my finger and drag it, and I'm already getting moisture. You can see how wet that is. So we're putting the seeds right down to it, and I mean, it's right there. So it looks dry, but it's not. Just the top crust of it's dried off from the wind that we've had the last couple of days. Well, how's it going, everybody? My name's Justin. I don't think I've ever said my name on here. I noticed that we have a few new subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. But this is a 2015 Puma 185, obviously 4-wheel drive with the duals and some other cool stuff. So without this tractor, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are right now if we would have kept that 7800. That's what we traded in for this tractor and another one. But anyway, so far this tractor's done pretty much exactly what we wanted it to do. We've already put about 105 hours on the tractor since we've had it for the last month. And I feel like a little bit of a dummy, but I kept saying that we had 100 acres to do in the last video, and I've been telling everybody here, oh, we got 100 acres ready, we're doing 100 acres, and we got to have 100 acres ready. But I got out earlier, a couple fields down that way, looked at my acre meter here on the wheel, and I had already done 109. I was like, oh shit, how's that? And started counting again, and I don't know. Anyway, we have 120 acres that are ready. So right now I'm waiting on Wes to bring me some seed. Wes is my father. I got my younger brother named Jeremy. Allie's over here rolling. She's my daughter. She's 13. And then Case, he's on the video sometimes, and he's 8. He's sitting at the house right now playing Xbox probably. But we have a dairy here in East Texas. It's my grandfather, my dad, me, and my younger brother. And we graze our cows. The only time our cows go inside is to milk and to eat on the feed lane. That's it. Other than that, we're outside all the time. So the planting this sorghum, it's not anything new to us. We just haven't done it in probably 6 years. There was like, I want to say from 2010 to at least 2015, maybe 2016. Well, that don't even make sense, does it? Because maybe we haven't done it for about 4 years then. So the last few years we were doing 80 acres down the road, and we were double cropping it with ryegrass and with the sorghum, and it just never really worked out very well. The ryegrass, we were either delayed because of the rain. One year we had to watch it just turn brown and end up bush hogging it. So just decided to get away from that, and actually the landowner had passed away and sold it off, and anyway, so we just quit messing with sorghum for a little while. So then now, why we're going back to it is just trying to change things up, mix it up a little bit. What we got going is out here we have Tifton 85. Obviously the cereal rye that we've been grazing is about done for, which all it is for grazing. We planted 100 acres of triticale, and there's some volunteer ryegrass, and there was some Maton ryegrass cereal rye that we planted, and we got about somewhere between 250 to 300 acres to chop here in the next few days. Hopefully the guy, he's at another place right now and he's dealing with mud. Hopefully he gets that done and he'll be here in a few days and we can chop that. The reason we're going to chop the ryegrass is because us physically cannot go fast enough with our own equipment. We have 2 hay balers, we have 2 mocos, we have the line wrapper, we have 3 trucks, 2 flatbed trailers. But with the amount of people and the skilled labor, we just can't go fast enough to capture its quality. We just now would probably be able to go and harvest it because of the wet weather, and that's just the issue is time. It would take us probably 3 weeks to cover those 300 acres, when it'll take these guys probably 3 days. That's what they do. They have the equipment set up to cover 150 to 200 acres in a day. So it just makes more sense to let them come in and handle it. We're going to make a pile. We're going to use the Puma 185 to pack and see how that works out. That'll be a little bit of a trial and error. And we have the wheel loader to also help pack, even though it's not very good for it, but we can use it for that. Same way we kind of did the corn silage, except for using the bulldozers, we're going to use the Puma 185 and to push. So with that being said, that's the plan on that. The sorghum, like I said, I kind of feel like a dummy because I've been saying all along that we got 100 acres to do, and we don't. We have 120. So with this 120 acres of sorghum that we have, it should average out to be about 12 tons to the acre is what everybody's been telling me and all that. The seed that we're planting is called Gotcha Plus. It's a sorghum sedan hybrid with extended maturity, and it's a BMR. We're planting at about 43 3/4. That's kind of really exact down to, but that's what the math came out the first little bit. We tried to calibrate it, and we were close, and we dialed it in a little bit more, and we're at about 43 pounds an acre right now, and that's what we're doing. And you can put out more, you can put out less. If you put out more, you do have a possible issue with lodging, which basically means that because the plants are so close together that the stems are smaller on the plant, and then if you have any high wind, say a storm or just a really good windy day, it could be blown over, and then it'll be all laid over, and then when you come in to cut it or chop it or anything, it's a real pain in the butt trying to get it up underneath it. So we don't want that. And plus, if it fell over early in its stage, then you could get a lot of loss. I'd have to look just to double check, but I'm pretty sure 60 days after planting is when you want to harvest it. It'll go to a grain in 85 days. So somewhere in that window is when we're going to try to harvest this, which would be right around July 1st. End of June, 1st of July is the plan. We have plenty of moisture. It's just now getting about right. It looks dry. There's a lot of dust, but that's just the top layer. I think we've already gone over that. What we've done is we've taken our fields that needed to be plowed, needed to be smoothed back up, and that were getting a little rough. This field here and the one next to us had a lot of hog damage done to it, and it needed to be smoothed back up. We did our sacrifice fields this year instead of sprigging them back with Tifton 85. The plan on that is because we keep having an issue, even though we spray a herbicide that the Bermuda grass, not the Bermuda grass, but the common Bermuda grass, which is like basically good for a lawn, and that's about it. Cows don't like it. It doesn't yield very much. It stays that tall at its extended, or not extended, but at its full yield, I guess. It's about a foot tall when Tifton 85 could be waist deep, and a lot more nutritional value. But even though that we're trying to do all that and trying to get rid of it, it keeps wanting to come back, and it's a really tough grass to get rid of, almost as bad as Bahia. So the thought of doing our sacrifice fields 1 year in sorghum, and then next year maybe coming back and sprigging those fields, and then the new sacrifice fields would go to sorghum. And what I mean by sacrifice fields is that's where we put our cows, say October and November, when we're waiting for our winter pasture to grow. Have to put them somewhere to keep them off the grass so it'll grow and get established first. So waiting on Wes right now to bring seed. He's coming across the field right now, so I'm gonna have to probably get off here pretty quick, but that's basically what we're doing. Is we're trying to mix up our forage program, getting some better quality, and more capacity, or not more capacity, but more tons, more tonnage, more quality, and things like that. And that's what you got to do to stay in this business now, is you got to be on top of it. If you ain't on top of it, then like that you could be gone. So we got 120 acres here, and that's probably all we're gonna end up doing this year, and then we're gonna see what happens next year. I got some ideas, or we have some ideas what we're trying to do. I've mentioned that in a previous video, but this video was just a quick deal. I didn't get to really talk about the sorghum that we were going to plant in the last video. I was just kind of going through the day a little bit, and I didn't get to do any like montages of the equipment and stuff like that, so I thought I'd do it on this one. Keep this one short and simple. If you have any questions, anything, just give me a comment down below and let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them. But other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.